to maybe Anthony to Dubois, not Fury maybe.
Yeah.
But
Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk are clearly done playing it cool, and they're giving fans a real taste of the fire we can expect when they finally meet for that undisputed World Heavyweight Championship title. Their rivalry is only growing, and the excitement is building as they exchange words and tensions rise. But before Dubois can get to Usyk, he's got a tough challenge ahead with Joseph Parker, who he's set to face off with in February. And Dubois isn't holding back, making it crystal clear, I want my revenge. This fight isn't just about a win, it's personal. The stage is set for what could be one of the most electrifying matchups in heavyweight boxing. The countdown is on, and the energy is only going to get bigger. Tonight, Daniel Dubois made his intentions crystal clear. I want my revenge for the robbery last time. Let's make it happen. He's determined not to let his dreams of facing Usyk slip away, and he knows that losing to Joseph Parker would throw those plans out the window. Dubois, known for his powerful punches, isn't worried about Parker at all. He sees him as just a hurdle on his way to becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. His eyes are locked on Usyk, not Parker. Just like when he interrupted Usyk after the Usyk vs Fury fight on December 21st, Dubois jumped onto Instagram Live to call out the champion once again. He's making it clear, Usyk, you're next. This journey is far from over, and Dubois is ready to show the world what he's made of. The heavyweight division better be ready. Daniel Dubois is fired up and ready to take on the heavyweight champion, urging him to prepare for what's coming. Let's go, I want my revenge. Make it happen, he said, full of confidence and determination. But Usyk isn't in a rush to get back in the ring just yet. After 2 grueling matches with Tyson Fury, he's asking for a break, wanting to rest and recover before facing Dubois. And honestly, Usyk's request makes sense. Dubois already has a fight scheduled for February, which gives Usyk plenty of time to recover and get back to his best. So for now, Usyk has the time he needs, and when the time comes, both fighters will be more than ready to make their move. The heavyweight division is about to get even more exciting. Months after his fight with Joseph Parker, Daniel Dubois is already eyeing his next big challenge, Alexander Usyk. Before he even steps into the ring with Parker, Dubois is eager to take on Usyk, who's recently been praised as one of boxing's all-time greats after his big win. Usyk's victory has solidified his place in boxing history, but Dubois still has a long way to go to reach that level. If they do eventually meet in the ring, it looks like it would be another solid win for Usyk, who's already defeated 3 British champions multiple times. But don't count out Dubois just yet. He's hungry and determined to make his mark in the heavyweight division, and he's not backing down from the challenge. The stage is set, and the excitement is only building. Daniel Dubois is ready to take on the big names in boxing, and he's coming for them with serious power. He's got a heavy punch, and when it comes to Anthony Joshua AJ, Dubois isn't planning to just outbox him. He's aiming for a big win, whether that's through a knockout or a late stoppage. Back in June, Dubois made a statement when he won the interim IBF belt, stopping Filip Hrgovic in the 8th round during their fight in Saudi Arabia. That win earned him the belt, which was soon upgraded after Usyk gave up his title. Now, Dubois has his sights set on the undefeated Ukrainian who defeated Tyson Fury. Dubois isn't backing down. He's ready to show he belongs at the top of the heavyweight division and prove he's a serious contender. The heavyweight scene is heating up, and Dubois is ready to make his mark. After his wins over Fury, Daniel Dubois entered his fight with Anthony Joshua AJ this past September with a strong 2-1-2 record, including 20 knockouts. He was eager to add another victory to his career. But when it comes to AJ, the outcome isn't always certain. Dubois knows that if anyone can challenge Joshua, it's him. We've seen AJ take punches, but the big question is always how he'll respond. The truth is, nobody has really tested him like that except for Alexander Usyk, who came close to stopping him. Usyk, a former undisputed cruiserweight champion, moved up to heavyweight and showed he can handle the best. Now, Dubois is looking to do the same and prove that he's a serious contender in the heavyweight division. The heavyweight scene is about to get even more exciting. Usyk's rise to the top was impressive, with key wins over Chaz Witherspoon and Derek Chisora before taking Anthony Joshua's unified world titles in an immediate rematch. But it was his fight with Daniel Dubois that really got people talking. Usyk won the match in the 9th round by stoppage after a controversial 5th round. Dubois was working the body and looked like he might drop Usyk, but the referee, Louis Pab, quickly ruled one of his shots as low, giving Usyk time to recover. Dubois wasn't able to take advantage of that moment, and as the fight wore on, he started to fade. Eventually, Usyk dropped him twice and the fight was stopped. It was a tough loss for Dubois, but Usyk proved once again why he's one of the best. There's more to the story, and I want to share a picture that captures the intensity of the fight. Have you seen this picture? It's from that big fight with Dubois, and honestly, I don't like it at all. His team still feels he should have walked out of Poland that night with the belts. Even though it was a tough loss, Dubois hasn't let it hold him back. He's bounced back strong, winning the vacant International Boxing Federation IBF title earlier this year with an impressive knockout against Joshua in his first defense. On the other side, Usyk has been on fire, as he became the undisputed champion by beating Fury in their first match and then held onto 3 of the 4 major belts with 2 solid wins over his biggest rivals. Now, Usyk is widely seen as the king of the heavyweight division, with many believing he's truly at the top of the game. It's been an exciting ride, and we're all waiting to see what happens next in the heavyweight showdown. At 37 years old, some people are saying that Usyk should think about retiring, but if you ask Daniel Dubois, he's got a different plan. After Usyk's second win over Fury, Dubois didn't hesitate to make his move. He jumped into the ring, calling for a rematch. Usyk, still thanking his family for their support, simply responded with, "No problem, maybe Anthony, not Fury, maybe." Now, Dubois has been on a roll with 3 impressive stoppage wins over Gerald Miller, Filip Hrgovic, and AJ, but even with all that momentum, it's clear Usyk isn't intimidated. After their fight, when asked about Dubois' performance, Usyk stayed calm and collected, showing that he's not fazed by anyone's power in the ring. This rivalry is heating up, and fans can't wait to see what happens next. Will Dubois get his rematch, or is Usyk really the king of the heavyweight division? Time will tell. Usyk might not have been impressed with Dubois' power, especially when he jokingly said, "Only in my balls," after feeling those heavy punches, but many in the boxing world disagree with Usyk's take. A lot of sparring partners and opponents think Dubois is one of the hardest hitters in the heavyweight division. Whether or not Dubois and Usyk will meet again is still up in the air, but before any talk of a rematch, Dubois has a huge challenge in front of him. On February 22nd, he's set to face Joseph Parker in a fight that could change everything for him. Dubois is focused on coming into the fight in the best shape of his life, both inside and outside the ring. He's determined to be better than he was before his battle with Anthony Joshua. So the question is, will Dubois live up to the hype? Fans are eager to see if he can step up and prove himself when it matters most. It was 6 this morning when the buzz around Daniel Dubois started to grow louder. Fans had been telling him to work on his self-belief, and it looks like he really took that advice to heart. What did he do? He took his trash talk to a whole new level. As fight week approached for his big match against Anthony Joshua, Dubois wasn't just getting ready physically and mentally, he was getting ready to talk the talk too. During their press conference, Dubois didn't hold back. He came at Joshua with some sharp words, showing that he wasn't afraid to get under his opponent's skin. He made it clear that he wasn't giving Joshua any chance. Dubois was brimming with confidence, determined to show the world that this was his time. Fans couldn't help but notice how ready he was, not just for the fight in the ring, but for the battle of words that had already begun. The excitement was building, and the fight was looking more intense than ever. Daniel Dubois was on fire, coming for Anthony Joshua with everything he had. He didn't give Joshua a break, relentlessly talking trash and even promising him a funeral, saying he was going to send him to the grave. Sound familiar? It was similar to the bold words Gerald Miller used when facing Joshua, and now Dubois was following that path with his own fiery language. But here's the thing, it wasn't just talk. Daniel Dubois looked more confident and improved than ever before. Everyone could see it. His words weren't just empty threats, they were backed up by the way he carried himself. And this left fans with one big question: is Anthony Joshua really ready for what Dubois is bringing? It's clear that Dubois isn't playing around, and now we're all wondering if Joshua has what it takes to handle this new, more dangerous version of Dubois. The fight's going to be intense, and the anticipation is only growing. As Daniel Dubois geared up for this weekend's big fight against Anthony Joshua for the International Boxing Federation heavyweight title, he reflected on how far he's come. After taking 2 losses and facing harsh criticism, Dubois made it clear that he's worked hard to turn his career around. It wasn't an easy road, but he's pushed through. However, he knows his journey isn't over yet. Stepping into the ring this September, Dubois is determined to prove himself again. With big names like Joshua and Fury also eyeing their next fights, Dubois is ready to show the world that he deserves a spot among the top fighters. This is his chance to make a statement, and he's not about to let it slip by. Daniel Dubois is fired up and ready to make his mark. "They're my targets now," he said, as he reflected on the struggles he's faced. After a tough period in his career, Dubois is more confident than ever, boldly claiming that he's back and ready for whatever comes next. But for him, this fight with Anthony Joshua isn't just about titles, it's about proving who has the stronger will and who's conquered their demons. Dubois believes it's all about the mindset. It's not just about who can land the hardest punch, it's about who has the drive to push forward and reach new heights in their career. He's prepared to do whatever it takes to come out on top, knowing that this fight is his chance to show everyone he's ready for the next level. It's not just a match for him, it's his opportunity to prove that he's truly back and stronger than ever. Daniel Dubois isn't just looking for a win against Anthony Joshua, he's aiming for a dominant victory that leaves no question about who's the better fighter. He made it clear his plan is to knock Joshua out, and he's determined to make it happen. This fight is more than just another match for Dubois. It's his chance to prove himself and right the wrongs from his past. "God bless, and I'm going to come through it," he said, showing just how much this moment means to him. He's putting everything he has into this, ready to step into the ring as a true powerhouse. For Dubois, this is his moment to conquer and claim his place in the heavyweight world, and he's not holding back. In the past, people questioned Daniel Dubois' heart and will, especially when things got tough and he came up short, but he believes those doubts are behind him now. When Dubois faced Anthony Joshua for the International Boxing Federation heavyweight title in September, it was more than just a title fight, it was a chance to prove his strength and determination. The two British heavyweights met at Wembley Stadium, and by then, Dubois had already bounced back from a tough loss to Alexander Usyk a year earlier, winning 2 straight fights by stoppage. With that momentum, Dubois felt more confident than ever, ready to show that he could take on one of the biggest names in boxing and come out on top. Daniel Dubois, only 26, has already earned a strong reputation in the boxing world. After knocking out Filip Hrgovic in June to win the interim IBF heavyweight title, he was officially upgraded to champion when Alexander Usyk vacated the regular title. Next, Dubois faced his biggest challenge yet, defending his title against Anthony Joshua, a former sparring partner. Going into their match at Wembley, Dubois was full of confidence. He had just come off 2 major wins. Before stopping Hrgovic in the 8th round, he also scored a thrilling knockout of Gerald Miller, sealing the victory in the final seconds of their intense fight. With these victories, Dubois is proving he's ready to take on boxing's toughest challenges. Will his confidence and skills be enough to keep climbing to the top? Only time will tell. After a tough loss to Usyk in 2022, Daniel Dubois has bounced back strong, proving his critics wrong. That night in Poland, he thought he had Usyk beat with a solid body shot, but it was ruled a low blow. Usyk went on to stop him with a jab, and many began questioning Dubois' heart and resilience. His only other professional loss came in 2020, adding to the doubts. But now, Dubois is back on track. His recent wins have shown that he's not just ready to bounce back, he's improving. His performance has earned praise, with many calling it a good display of his growth in the ring. Fans are now eagerly asking, is he ready for the biggest test of his career? Could the potential fight with Tyson Fury be the moment that takes him to the next level? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear: Daniel Dubois is on a mission to prove he belongs at the top. Daniel Dubois has faced his share of challenges in the ring, but he's always bounced back stronger. Back in December, he fought Joe Joyce, but it wasn't his night. A jab from Joyce put Dubois down, and despite trying, he couldn't beat the referee's count. Later, we found out he had a fractured eye socket. That wasn't the only tough moment for him, though. In 2022, against Kevin Lerena, he was knocked down 3 times in the first round, but fought back and ended up winning by technical knockout in the 3rd round. Many believed he was battling an injury during that fight. But as he prepared for his big matchup with Anthony Joshua, Dubois wasn't letting those past struggles hold him back. Instead of dwelling on past setbacks, he was focused on what's next, his goal: to show the world that he's stronger, smarter, and ready to prove himself against one of the best in the game. Daniel Dubois is all about the future, not the past. When asked about old sparring sessions, he quickly shut it down. It was years ago, and I barely remember it, he said, making it clear he's not worried about what happened back then. That was a different Daniel. I've changed. He's fully focused on the present, ready to prove he's not the same fighter who struggled in the past. I've rebuilt my career, come out of the dark, and now I'm stepping into the light. I'm a new man, he proudly stated. For Dubois, everything is about the upcoming fight, and he's determined to show the world the hard work he's put in. The much-awaited fight between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois is coming soon, and fans can watch it live on Sky Sports box office. Joshua is the favorite to win, especially after dominating fighters like Otto Wallin and Francis Ngannou, both of whom gave Tyson Fury tough challenges. But Joshua made it look easy, knocking them out without much trouble. Daniel Dubois, on the other hand, knows this is a huge test. He's determined to keep his IBF heavyweight title and hand Joshua just his 4th career loss. I'm rising back up, Dubois said, and I'm keeping the momentum going, leaving the past behind. He's ready to take on the challenge and prove he has what it takes to stand at the top of the division. This fight is sure to be full of drama and excitement. Daniel Dubois is fired up and ready for one of the biggest challenges of his career. He knows that to become the best, he needs to face the toughest opponents. His goal? To fight the best and to be the best. He looks up to Anthony Joshua, who's been the king of British heavyweight boxing for years, but Dubois is determined to change that. My mission is to become the King Slayer, he says confidently. What's even more exciting is how Dubois is evolving. He's not just improving as a fighter, but also growing as a person. He's coming out of a tough time and stepping into a new phase of his career. He's learning more about himself, finding strength and sharpening his skills. For Dubois, it's not just about the fight, it's about proving that he's ready to rise to the top and take his place as the new face of British heavyweight boxing. Daniel Dubois is fired up and ready to prove himself in the ring. After his impressive victory over Anthony Joshua, he's more confident than ever. I'm up for this and ready to go, he says, eager to show what he's truly capable of. For him, this isn't just about winning, it's about tapping into his full potential and achieving greatness. The old Daniel, the one who lost to Joe Joyce back in 2020, is gone. Now, he's a completely different fighter, more powerful, more focused, and hungry for success. With his knockout victory over Joshua still fresh in his mind, Dubois is set to take on Joseph Parker next. And he's not just looking for a win, he's aiming to finish Parker before the fight goes the distance. If he pulls that off, he could land a big rematch with Joshua and maybe even bigger opportunities down the line. This isn't just about a fight for Daniel, it's a statement. He's ready to prove that he's a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division. Keep an eye on him because Dubois is just getting started. Daniel Dubois is on a mission to secure a shot at the undisputed heavyweight title, and he has his sights set on facing the winner of the big showdown between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury this December. But before that, Dubois faces a tough test in Joseph Parker. The New Zealander, rejuvenated by his training with Andy Lee, is eager to prove he still belongs at the top level of boxing. Saudi Arabia's growing role in boxing is evident once again as the country will host a thrilling event filled with top-tier matchups alongside Dubois vs. Parker. Boxing fans will get to see a highly anticipated rematch between two of the sport's best pound-for-pound fighters, Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol. And as if that wasn't enough, there's also an exciting domestic clash between Callum Smith and John Ryder. With so much action packed into one event, it's shaping up to be an unforgettable night of boxing. Stay tuned because this is one you won't want to miss. This event could be a big turning point for Shiraz, who's got all the right qualities to become a global boxing star. Though his amateur career was fairly quiet, he's learned the ropes in the professional ring and even moved to the United States to grow in the sport. His respectful attitude and sharp communication have made him a favorite, and now he's on the verge of seeing all his hard work and sacrifices pay off. As for Daniel Dubois, there was a feeling that his last fight really took him by surprise. His corner had to push him to get back into the fight, as it seemed like he wasn't fully prepared for what was coming. Dubois still has a lot to prove, and it was clear that he needed more experience to face the bigger challenges in his boxing career. Daniel Dubois has come a long way since facing challenges that truly tested him in the ring. Now he fights with a sense of calm and focus, never overthinking his moves. This approach has worked well for him, making him a stronger and more confident fighter. Reflecting on his fight with Anthony Joshua, Dubois admits he wasn't sure what to expect. He was hoping for an all-out, intense fight. After all, fighting a fellow Brit, especially in his home country, comes with its own set of nerves. But despite the pressure, Dubois didn't back down. He stepped into the ring, ready to face whatever came his way, determined to give his best. Daniel Dubois has proven that the spotlight doesn't faze him. When it comes to big fights, he remains calm and focused, something that stands out in comparison to Anthony Joshua. Joshua, despite his experience, seemed to overthink during their fight, and it ultimately played against him. Dubois, on the other hand, has learned from his struggles in the ring. He's no longer shaken by the pressure. This attitude is exactly what a fighter needs to take on the best and compete for world titles. Whether the fight is at Wembley or Vegas, Dubois is mentally ready. It's clear now there's no risk of him freezing under pressure. He's got the mindset to take on anything that comes his way. Daniel Dubois is a fighter who sticks to what he knows. He follows the game plan he's trained with, and that works for him. He's comfortable within those limits, but there's a catch. If the plan doesn't go as expected, Dubois can struggle to adjust on the spot. This might be a challenge, but it doesn't take away from how much he's grown as a fighter. At just 27 years old, he's still developing, and the sky's the limit for him. With more experience and time, Dubois has the potential to rise to the top of the heavyweight division. His journey is just beginning, and fans can't wait to see how far he'll go. Daniel Dubois, nicknamed the King Slayer, has always been recognized for his explosive power in the ring. Before his fight with Joe Joyce, many believed Dubois only needed to connect with his devastating right hand to end any fight. In fact, one well-known boxing writer once claimed Dubois' right hand is deadlier than even Bruno or Lewis ever had. But is it just about the power? Not quite. Dubois has shown time and time again that he's more than just a one-dimensional fighter. Reflecting on his approach, he shared, "We went in there to make it a real dogfight. We tore up the script and gave it our all." This shows his ability to adapt and fight with heart. Dubois isn't just swinging wildly, hoping for a knockout. He's bringing grit and determination to every round. His opponents know they're stepping into the ring with someone who can end the fight in a heartbeat, but also someone who's ready to battle to the very end. That's what makes Dubois so dangerous. One punch is all it takes, and he's always ready to deliver. Daniel Dubois was once hailed as a knockout powerhouse, often compared to the likes of Deontay Wilder. Many believed his right hand could end fights in an instant. However, his bout with Joe Joyce told a different story. Despite landing numerous clean shots, Joyce never seemed fazed. This raised a question: is Dubois' power overhyped, or are his true strengths waiting to be discovered? After that fight, Dubois made changes. He's no longer a one-dimensional puncher relying on power alone. One thing that stands out now is his incredible stamina. Dubois can keep up the pressure from the first round to the last, showing no signs of slowing down. That kind of relentless energy makes him a serious threat in the ring.